We will demo materials in grease pencil, kind of like layers. You just add them, and then it depends on what you're trying to do. All right, so we're gonna keep this one with lines and fills layers only. And of course, there's two types. There's solid stroke and then the solid fill right here. And there's different strokes here. But let me go to material. If you look at solid stroke mode type right here, it's a line, and then there's squares and dots that you can. So you have a more stylized stroke that you can see. Solid also, it can be textured as well, and then simply the base color. Okay, and then when you're in fill, basically just solid, and then whatever the base color is. All right. So let's add. Well, let's just kind of demo this first. All right. So I'm in pencil, and then I have solid stroke, strength to 1. I'm going to increase my radius just a little bit, so I'm just doubling it. Okay, so solid stroke basically. All right, and then let's switch to square strokes. Okay. All right, and square strokes, basically squares right here, it's still solid. All right, dot stroke. All right, probably notice there's not a whole lot of difference. All right, squares and dot strokes, but anyway, it's the pattern that you see right here. Squares as opposed to some tapering. They're supposed to be dots. This is supposed to be squares. So depending on how big your radius is, you can easily create those 8-bit art with these square ones right here. All right, so basically those are the available ones, and then solid fill, of course, it just fills up the outline. So if I go to my fill brush right here, go to my fill layer. All right, there you go. Click here. There's an opening, and it just ignores that. Oh, this one right here because I probably didn't close it right there. So you're actually it's enclosed if you actually close your lines right here, even though there's an opening since I missed one right there basically. Okay, so let's go now to the materials and how you make them. All right, so let's make a new one. Let's make a new solid stroke. Okay, so I'll click the plus sign. We're just gonna call this one, let's say blue stroke, blue solid. Okay, blue material. All right, and then we're going to make it a stroke. Let's not call it material. Let's go blue stroke. Not stroke. All right, and then it's gonna be stroke. It's gonna change the color here to blue. Okay, and then now it becomes an option right there. So if I go to my draw, blue stroke, there it is. Okay, so let's make a fill material. So for the fill brush, I'm gonna click plus sign here, click new, uncheck stroke, check fill. We'll leave it at solid. We're going to create a gradient after. Say yellow. All right, there's the material. I didn't name it, but you get the point. If I go to my fill brush and I select that color, there's the yellow one. There's the yellow one. Okay, let's make another one. Plus sign. New. This one will be a fill, but this time not a solid, but a gradient. Okay, so the base color, let's say we'll go with green. Secondary, we'll go with whatever the red one is. blend at 50 right there, which is fine. So now this is a gradient one. I'm still in fill. And then material 001. Oh, let's rename this. Let's call it gradient. Again, the difference here is that the previous one was solid. This one we changed the style to gradient. There you go. So you see the gradient right there. Okay. And of course we have texture. Then you're going to have to select a file that you want to use, and then you can use that as your texture. Okay, let me see if I have anything here that would work. Maybe that one. All right, so it's a Japanese mask. There it is. Then you can do your rotation. You can position it. You can scale it. So on and so forth. Okay, it's still based on this base color right here. So it's totally what you want to do. Okay, so that's for solid, and for stroke we don't really need to do the demo because the mode type right here, the default ones are already using it. Okay, the only thing that they haven't used is texture, but you've seen what texture will do. It will just take over that. All right, so that's our grease pencil, how to make materials, and stroke and fill types. All right.